I rescued from the church, and here's the peanut butter jar that I give the raccoons to lick. And look at that, they lick it clean. And look, we are outdoors, sitting on the south lawn at our table and chair, the table that Ellie Kisslinger gave us. And we just fed the whole block of blackbirds, but they didn't come in, the whole flock of blackbirds, but they didn't come and finish. And the snow is almost gone in the woods. Oh, this is the day that you wait for all year, folks. This is the day you wait for all year. And here's another joyous moment. First of all, let me tell you that God doesn't owe us a thing. It says that we seem to expect from God that God owes us good health, a comfortable life, material blessings. God doesn't owe us a thing. Don't you ever let me hear you say that God owes you anything. We owe God. So here's the legal paper that's done. It came in Saturday, March the 24th, a week since St. Patrick's Day. It is going to Mayor Delfino and the Common Council of White Plains. You picked another bad one. Hansbury. Fire Hansbury. He's a White Plains city judge. In White Plains, the Common Council and the mayor choose the judges. They are not elected. That is all wrong. This is Defendant Appellee Cecilia Masterilli, 1053 Park Street, Cablevision, Peekskill. Defendant Appellee Walter A. Sarok at Sadley Stevens Jerk and Jerk, 230 Park Avenue, New York. And Defendant Appellee Sadley Stevens Jerk and Jerk, 230 Park Avenue, New York, New York, and all the other jerks. And to Brian Hansbury, who has rendered courts meaningless. He's a part-time city judge in the City Court of White Plains. And to the clerk, Paul Friedman, at City Court, 77 South Lexington Street, White Plains. And now we will take this to be served. What day is it? I told you that it's this is the 27th of March, Tuesday. The time is approximately 2:15 p.m. We're feeding the blackbirds. And now we're going to walk this to the United States Postal Service. And it will be served and it will be done. And I will be reading it to you shortly. What do you get when you cross an owl with a goat? You get a hootenanny. And what do you get when you cross a stream and a brook? You get wet feet. And what do you get when you have dirty jet planes and criminals exuding poison on purpose? You get a dirty, poisonous sky. We've got to find a cardbuster and we've got to buy it and dispel this nasty poison and stop breathing it and stop having it come down upon us. You should do that for your children. Who is robbing us of our blue sky? Yes, who is? And who is covering it up? The people who are supposed to be protecting us. The Environmental Protection Agency. Who? Thanks.
No problem.
That's all I had to know, and I hope...
Did you want us to transfer funds over?
And Peter, he says money talks. He says money talks, and right now mine is saying goodbye.
All right.
Okay. Today's vegetarian meal is mashed potato, fried chick, a soybean product, no animal fat, lima beans, This is falafel. It comes as a mix in a box, and you put a cup of cold water with it and stir it up and let it stand for 10 minutes. Then you roll the falafel into these balls and you fry them in a half an inch of fat of oil, vegetable oil. And you can serve them in pita bread with fresh greens. There's quite a few different kinds, and I think they're delicious. Falafel. It's Mediterranean, Middle East. You want some? You will note that there are no animal products, that everything is vegan. There's no dairy, no egg, no butter, no margarine. Everything is vegan. No animal suffering, clubbing, sledgehammering, hoisting an animal and pulling out its hip. No throat cutting, no electric prod, and do something to that person to make him never hurt an animal again. That is my prayer. Protect the animal, protect the animal, protect the animal. It's not a fair fight. It's a cowardly thing to do. Get rid of guns. That's AM. 28th March. Start the 4th year. We are making copies of the contents for a chat with Glendora to go on the YouTube. And here are the 8 videotapes to go to the YouTube. That would be 29 programs. And kitties are peaceful. They each have half of a bed, and that leaves me with a half. Now, did I tell you about, I called my neighbor and we had a nice talk, and a few minutes later Sebastian cat, that's this one right here, hopped up on the desk, and he walked across the telephone keypad. He hit the redial button, and the next thing I heard was my neighbor saying, "Hello?" And I told you about my friend Susan, who spends all of her life rescuing distressed cats near death. And she rescued these 5 kittens, and one of them disappeared, and she was frantic. She was out in the woods in the middle of the night with a flashlight. Guess where the kitten showed up? In the laundry basket at the laundromat. I just saw this videotape, which I think is very good. I know all the things on here. It intensified them and accentuated them for me, but I would like to have you know everything that's on here. That the IRS is a fake, that there is no income tax law. It was ratified by only 3 states. There is no such law. It's still a bill, way back in 1913. And a whole long list of other ugly things going on destroying America. It's by Aaron Russo. I wish you'd get it. But, depressing as it is, I know that God is all powerful. And I know that God is all good. And I know that God will do the increase. So I'm going to focus on that. God's goodness, strength, omnipotence, omniscience, beauty, generosity, vastness, variety of creation. That's what I'm going to think about. I ought to think about going to bed, don't you think? Want some help.com? I'll hold it for you. Here, go ahead, I'll hold it. You get into it. There you go. There you are. And she goes in there and she chews envelopes. 9 by 12 envelopes. I don't know why. But she chews them up one after another. Listen to those birdies. 400 or 500 of them? In a blue sky. There's only aerosol along the horizon, which often happens. And see how the snow piles have gone down. This one over here, where we shoveled. Come on, birdies. Here's some delicious chocolate mint St. Patrick's Day muffins. And that woodpecker, he must have an awful headache. Let's go see what the temperature is. We have to videotape, and we will videotape outdoors for the first time in 2007. 50 degrees. And at what time? 10:05 a.m. My friend Susan Kay lost the kitten that she rescued. Guess where the kitten showed up? In the laundry basket. In the laundry basket at the laundromat. The gracious gift of union with God is your pure thought today. Hebrews 10. March the 28th, 2007, Anno Domini. It's over. Winter is over, I think. It could come back. It's March. It could be more like February one day than it is like April. That bread was given to us by Ruth Miller of the Calvary Assembly of God Church. Thank you, bread. Come on, birdies. Let's give them... wish it were true. Wouldn't it be nice if it were true? But the government has been taken over by hoods. The courts have been taken over by hoods. And the medical field has been taken over by hoods. But we can be as good as we can be. We can just go out every day being more and more good. I am presenting to you this morning Glendora versus Sadly Stevens, Burke and Burke, and Walter A. Sorok and Cecilia Masterilli, in care of Cecilia Masterilli at 1053 Park Street, Peekskill, New York. The court is the city court of the city of White Plains, Westchester County, state of New York. The faltering, in fact, totally failing judge there is Brian Hansbury. The index number is Small Claims 2005. And it's Small Claims number 2520. And it is Glendora's slur reply to her motion for a new trial pursuant to Federal Rules of Civil Procedure, New York State, Rule 4404B. And this paper was served yesterday on March the 27th, Tuesday, and it tells the court that a suspected imposter named Joey E. Zasper, that her paper was due March the 14th, but didn't arrive until March the 25th, Saturday, or to the 24th Saturday, and that was a week from St. Patrick's Day, and then I started my answer on the next day, Saturday the 25th. So Glendora's reply must be carefully deliberated. And the first point to make is that Jasper is captious. Jasper cannot read a caption, even when it is this big. That's big. You see the errors? Small claims part does not belong up in the caption. It belongs over to the title, to the side, and she doesn't have the caption right. She cannot read, and she calls her paper defendant apostrophe S. This is very, very important, critical. Apostrophe S. That means there's one defendant. Opposition to plaintiff's motion for a retrial. It's not a retrial. The law calls it a new trial. And Glendora says, notice that this is apostrophe S, not S apostrophe. Sawrock and Masterilli, the other two defendants, are not opposing. And Glendora's legal papers are handwritten, and so is the Constitution of the United States, along with the Declaration of Independence, along with the Constitution of the State of New York. And indeed, these three defendants have said nothing about the Constitution of the State of New York, nor has Hansbury, the judge. Defendants, by and through their attorneys, oppose plaintiff's motion for a retrial. Well, Glendora says Satterley is a defendant and cannot represent co-defendants. And not one of these defendants has defended himself, herself, or itself against this. Well, they can't. Nor has Hansbury, nor can he. So here and now it is over. And Glendora wins her $5,000. Until you listed super successfully defend yourselves against Sawrock and against super, it is over for you. Until you defend yourselves successfully as to a defendant cannot represent a co-defendant, then this case is over, and Glendora has the victory. The paper is a nullity. Glendora did not receive it until March the 23rd. The return date was March the 14th. The Ides of March. Said paper must not be considered. Return address is Satterley, but the envelope has a postage stamp, not a meter. The date is illegible, and the paper must be stricken. Zoe says CPLR section 4404B states that a party may move to set aside a decision after the trial. Well, this is not what Glendora moved the court to do. Glendora charted her litigation, and the lawyer has to stay on course. This is nescience. I did not ask the court to do that. I asked the court for a new trial. Zoe Jasper says the court may make new findings of fact or conclusions of law without or increase the testimony and render a new decision or order a new trial, CPLR 4404. Glendora says that's not. She didn't ask for any of those things except a new trial. And Zoe Jasper, pay attention. Glendora specified a new trial with a non-Hansbury judge. I do not want Hansbury as a judge anymore. He is totally inept. With a non-Hansbury judge in any courtroom of adequate lighting and acoustics, not White Plains. Stay on course for once. The White Plains courtroom is beautiful, but you can't hear and you can't see. Two rather important requirements. Go back to school, Zoe Jasper, and take a course in reading comprehension. Jasper writes, submitted by plaintiff herein do not establish that the court misapplied any controlling principles of law or that the court misunderstood the facts of the case. This is an out-and-out lie. You prove it, Jasper. This is exactly what the court did. This is big lie number 1. Misrepresentation number 5. Glendora requests sanctions. She amply established the same. Jasper writes, nearly all of the arguments contained in this instant motion were already heard and rejected by this court. Big lie. Number 2, and misrepresentations 6 and 7. Bald-faced lie is this: impose sanctions pursuant to the New York State analog to Federal Rules of Civil Procedure, Rule 11. Go back to school and take a course in reading comprehension. Says Jasper, the dispositive facts remain that the plaintiff was not represented by defendants. What's that got to do with it? Had no contractual or personal relationship with the defendants. Irrelevant. Who owed her no duty. Contractual or otherwise. Big lie. They owed a duty to submit grown-up, intelligent, legal papers instead of their ignorant lawyering and shoddy workmanship. That would entitle plaintiff to judgment. Thus the complaint in this instant action was properly dismissed. Big lie number 10. Not only is there failure to read a caption, but now we have failure to read a gravamen. This spit out by Jasper is not Glendora's case. Glendora sued Sadley Stevens Burke, Sadley Stevens Jerk, a law firm, Park Avenue, Manhattan. She sued Sadley Stevens Burke, and the lawyer, Walter A. Sorrock, and the abettor, Cecilia Masterilli, for $5,000 damages that they caused her with their ignorant lawyering and shoddy workmanship. What does this have to do with a contract? You don't have to have a contract to be damaged by their ignorant lawyering and shoddy workmanship. This is just a judicial cop-out. Jasper is impaled on her lie number 10. Glendora speculates that when Jasper lingered in the courtroom that night, January the 24th, 07, the night of the trial, after waiting for us to leave, she went into the chambers and told Hansbury to write this lie. Jasper should have left the courtroom when we did. Neither Glendora nor one of her 5 monitors saw Jasper leave the courthouse. This is only one of 4 ex parte suicides by Jasper and Hansbury. Jasper is the alleged lawyer for Sadley and Sadley only. Hansbury is an alleged judge. Neither has defended against this claim. They have never defended against the 4 instances of ex parte that I saw and my 5 court monitors saw. So, the presumption is their ex parte is true and disqualifies both of them, and now that is mandatory. Lambda. Non-issue. Contractual relationship at all is a non-issue. It is not a claim. It never came up at trial. It is a post-trial ex parte desperation of no history and of no validity. It will not and cannot hold water. It is a lie. Indeed, it is the lies number 7, number 8, number 9, number 10, number 11, number 12. It is ignorant lawyering and shoddy workmanship down to the final note. And it is ignorant lawyering and shoddy workmanship within ignorant lawyering and shoddy workmanship. Instantly, it catapults Zoe E. Jasper into the bin marked, "Ooh, too soon." And Hansbury is already in that bin. It's not grammatical, folks, but graphic. Are the 2 of you too illiterate to read the small claim summons? The small claim summons says that they had been summoned to court to defend themselves against the claim by Glendora of ignorant lawyering and shoddy workmanship, which damaged Glendora by $5,000. And it's right at the top of the summons.